All right, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom, Wakasah, Lahabakyar, which is peace and mercy to the elect throughout the four corners, wherever it may be. I'm the brother Amar from the branch of GMS Cleveland. Coming back at you in the video, and real quick, let me throw this on. I just want to get into this lesson. If you don't know by now, it's worth checking out, which been recently going into this, like just checking out some articles, Lord, when I'm do some further investigation. But Trump just recently proposed a law or bill called the Big Beautiful Bill. So I'm gonna just read the title and go into it, and I'm going to speak on get some scriptures concerning what does that mean for you Israelites, and not just you Israelites, but you common Americans. So it says, this is from Los Angeles Times. It says Trump's Big Beautiful Bill has been signed into law. It said, what does that mean, right? And I'm going to jump down. You can read through this on your own. Let me see if I can get a little bit of what it pretty much is, and I'm gonna jump around by so you can read through this on your own, or do your own research. So it says President Donald J. Trump signed into law his nearly 900-page Big Beautiful Bill of tax breaks and spending cuts affecting millions of Medicaid recipients while growing the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE. It says agency by thousands of workers. The Senate passed the bill earlier in the week while the Republican-controlled House voted 218 to 214 in favor of it on Thursday evening, with all Democrats and 2 Republicans opposed. Now that the bill is in effect, it is a good time to review what's actually inside. So it's going to go through. It says tax cuts take center stage. The BBB, which is the Big Beautiful Bill, contains roughly 4.5 trillion in tax cuts, according to the Associated Press, and solidified the ones from Trump's first term. On the teeter-totter of benefits, the wealthiest families will enjoy an average of $12,000 in tax savings, while the poorest people will have to pay an additional $1,600 a year on average, many due to reductions in Medicaid and food aid. So, and this is what this government has always been doing. They've been propping up and supporting the wealthy or the people that have more money. Meanwhile, they're taking from the poor, which that makes no sense, man. Why would you take more from somebody that has less? That makes no sense, man. But we all know who this is going to affect primarily, and more of, which is the Israelites, man. It's going to affect you Israelites more than it's going to affect these heathens, especially Esau Edom. The average Edomite has not just probably more money, but just more assets and more ways of generating or gathering money, whether it be credit or however they go about doing it. Issue Jason is going to suffer. So I just want to get this. It's a very good scripture, man. This is Proverbs 22:22. Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate, man. So you're not supposed to rob the poor. The reason why it says because he is poor. So there it is, the men and women at the bottom that don't have nothing. Why would you take more from them? You know what I'm saying? And then you somehow, some way, have it to where the ones that have more money, you take less from them, man. It says, for the Lord will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoil them, man. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. We're entering upon, times where, society is crippling, and it's getting harder and harder to live. And then they pass this bill, like I said, where it supports more. It's a tax cut which supports the wealthy, and then, like I said, it robs from the poor. So let me go back into it, and I got a few more scriptures, man. Let me see. We jump down. Oh, they also doing the thing where, look, let me put this out here. It says, in total, the Department of Defense will receive roughly $1 billion in new funding for border security. It says another 25 billion is being set aside for the U.S. to develop its own Israel type of Iron Dome missile defense system called the Golden Dome. So this is another thing too that should rouse you Americans up, but it doesn't, because you sleep and you docile and you just stupid. All right, they have all this money. Literally, it seemed like endless amounts of money to pour into their so called, and I say so called for a reason, the so called defense system. And the reason why I say that, because America is never on the defense; they're always on the offense. That's just a play on words. All right. So when you think of defense, you think of, oh, they're protecting themselves, and they're not on the offense. They're not attacking anyone. Well, in actuality, they are, but they use defense as a play on words to make you seem like they are the victims. Anyway, it says so they're spending a 25 billion. They're setting aside 25 billion to develop their own type of missile defense system. Just so, like I said, why don't they have money to pour into the economy and to do to help out his fellow American, man? This place is a joke, man. It's a fucking joke, man. Um, let me finish this out, man. Read this last little bit. It says, how is this being paid for? Republicans are cutting back on Medicaid and food assistance programs for those below the poverty line. It says many adults receiving Medicaid and food stamps, including those up to 65, will now have to fulfill an 80-hour month of work requirement. So what does that mean, man? All right, they're gonna. Here it is, man. These elderly people that are up in age, even if you're in your 50s and 60s and shit. Here in America, that's like being 80. You know what I'm saying? Because you age not premature, but I forget the word I want to use, man. But pretty much you age beyond your years. So another example, if you in your 30s, you a lot of men and women feel like they probably in their 40s. You know what I'm saying? Due to the nutritional what's that deficiency in nutrition, mineral deficiency that these foods have, in the water and the air quality and all these other things. It pretty much ages you beyond your actual years, man. So these people that up in age, they have to work more just to get what they already been getting, man. All right, and that's Isaiah the 14th chapter. When you read it, man, it says, he who smote the people with a continuous stroke. It says Medicaid patients will also have a new $35 copayment to contend with. About 71 million Americans use Medicaid, and 40 million benefit from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, commonly known as food stamps. So that's a lot of people that are going to be without, or they're going to be suffering from not having access to that, man. Excuse me. Slovakia. But yeah, so it says 71 million Americans use Medicaid, and 40 million benefit from supplemental nutrition assistance, man. All right, and this is not helping or benefiting society, man. It's actually crippling it, and that's exactly what Donald Trump is being pushed out in the forefront to, like I said, man, to cripple the society, man. Apostle Star been saying it for years, man. He's Nero, all right. And when you look at the history to what Nero did, he pretty much, what they call it, he blamed the Israelites, man, pretty much for the burning of Rome. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it says the CBO estimates that 11.8 million Americans will become uninsured by 2034, which we don't have that long, and 3 million more will not qualify for SNAP due to changes, man. So yeah, man, we've been telling you that for years, man, that this place is pretty much on its way out, and one of the brothers had put this in the chat. I had screenshotted it. It says Senate just passed Trump's big beautiful bill. It says, which now means cut 900 million in Medicaid, 16 million people will lose health insurance, closure of rural hospitals, which rural is synonymous or associated with you Israelites in the ghetto. It says closure of nursing homes, All right, which a lot of niggas work there, especially Benjamin. It says in food assistance for 2.9 million people. It says increase mortgage interest, give tax cuts for those who income exceeds 4 million, man. So this is a lot of things that are going to affect this economy, and we've been telling you, and we're going to continue to tell you that, look, man, this place is on its way out, and you people will feel every bit of what we've been preaching, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah. So let me get a few more scriptures and I'm gonna close it out, man. It's like, let me see where the fuck out. Man, where's that scripture, man? I said my for what is some did not believe. I don't know why I skipped them. Um, some did not believe. Ah, damn, Romans, all the way off. It's the book of Romans, chapter 3:3. It says, "For what if some did not believe? It says, shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect?" It says, Yahweh forbid, yea, let Yahweh be true and every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy saying and mightest overcome when thou art judged, man. So yeah, you have people, not just our people, but heathens that don't believe the message that we preach, or don't believe what the scriptures say. But the scriptures say that it says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? And the answer is no. That's why it says Yahweh forbid. You know what I'm saying? Meaning no. It says, yea, let Yahweh be true and every man a liar, man, a liar. And we understand that the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah is the spirit of prophecy, man. The things that are written have came to pass, or are coming to pass, or will come to pass, man. All right, and if you don't believe that, that's on you. But we understand and believe that the things that are written in these scriptures are written for our learning, and that it's just a matter of time, literally. You know what I'm saying? If it has not come to pass, it will. You can take that to the bank, man. All right. Scripture said, "Let every man," it says, but every man a liar, and as it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome with our judgment. So yeah, man, we understand that. Look, these things will happen. It's just a matter of time. Just continue doing what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? If you're a brother that's on the forefront teaching, continue to teach. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? If you're a believer, just continue to believe, man. Because we don't have much longer, man. So yeah, we'll call it a day with that, man. With that, I'm gonna say all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash, Shalom.